Welcome back to another trade recap. Today I took a short on the NASDAQ. I am down around $700. And here are my executions. Show you guys that I lost this trade, that I lost money. I don't know why I would lie about that. But this is another day where I'm completely fine with this trade that I took. I think that I didn't know until today, but we have FOMC rates coming out and FOMC meetings coming out next week. So I think price action and the market is really just going to start like waiting and shopping and building price action for that move that comes on next Wednesday. However, I do think this was a good setup. I think, and I knew this going into it, that it was a little lower probability because we were fighting the high time frame draw. However, kind of want to just run you through what I wanted to see coming into market open. So let's go back to market open and run you through what I wanted to see. So coming into market open, if we go to the 15 minute, oh, it's going to do this shit again. Okay. So coming into the 15 minute, in the overnight session, what did we do? We had CPI at 630, and we have all this generated sell-side liquidity that we generated from yesterday, right? We come back down. We have this early change in the state in the overnight session, right? We have this 15-minute change, and we run through this 15-minute for value gap. And we continue to build price action. We continue to build price action. And then 6:30 comes around. We come down, sweep out all these lows, these relative equal lows, and we tap into this 15-minute for value gap. And then we have this 15-minute change in the state, right, to the upside. So coming into market open, I am bullish bias. However, I want to point out where ES was at this time. So ES, if we look at data highs here, data highs are up here. And here was the 15-minute change on ES. So coming into market open, I knew that ES would most likely take data highs first, which means we would have two bearish SMTs. We'd have a bearish SMT with data highs, and we'd have a bearish SMT with all-time highs, which right now we still do have. So again, I was bullish biased, but I was not opposed to taking a short, a little rebalance, not a short down to data lows, but a little rebalance to the sell side that we generated. So if we go into market open, what do? We take buy side first, right? And ES pumps up to take data highs. Sorry, we come back down, and what do we have? We've now put in, we take buy side to the left of us, right? We take buy side to the left of us. And we now have a 5-minute change in the state to the downside, right? So at this point in time, I'm staying patient, right? Because this could just be a rebalance to possibly rebalance the equilibrium and then go take data highs for ES to go then take data highs and put in a bearish SMT. Or this could be a 5-minute change in the state to just go down to data lows and we never take data highs and we just generate more buy side liquidity, right? So at this point in time, I'm staying extremely patient. And what do? We come back up, right? We have that 5-minute change. We generate more sell side liquidity, right? Oh, all right. And we come back up, right? And we take buy side, okay? So we take buy side. Oh, fuck. There we go. We take buy side, right, internally. So now we have had our internal manipulation. And then also keep in mind, this huge 4-hour right here is a 4-hour inverse that we're continuing to respect bearish, right? So if we go back all the way over here, we have this 4-hour inverse that we continue to respect bearish, and we have continued to respect constant encroachment of this 4-hour wick. So at this point in time, I want to see us continue to respect constant encroachment of this 4-hour wick and move lower and keep this bearish SMT with data highs and all-time highs intact. Now, let's go back down on the 1 minute. So ES comes up and takes data highs. And also I want to point out, at this point in time, I use midnight open as kind of a, not a bias indicator, but something that would give me more conviction on a bias, right? So if we look at midnight open, which is just the midnight open of Asia session with this, which is this red line, we can expect from this midnight open that price might want to come back and rebalance to midnight open. And if we look at yes, we take data highs, and we are so above midnight open as we take data highs, right? So I would want to see at this point in time a rebalance to go either back to not data highs, back to midnight open, or maybe these relative equal lows that we've generated, right? I want to see a rebalance, right? Because we're so overbought. And now, however, before entering this trade, I understand that if I take a short at this point in time, I am fighting the higher time frame draw, right? I'm fighting the higher time frame draw, but I want this SMT to stay validated, right? Because this SMT is giving me conviction. This bearish SMT with data highs is giving me conviction that we most likely are not going to go to data lows, but however, we could just have a little rebalance, a turtle soup, to then go and take data highs. So I want to be patient to see what we do. We open up this 1 minute bullish fair value gap, and as soon as we take buy side, we run through the 1 minute fair value gap, and I'm just waiting for a 1 minute change in the state. We kind of build price action, right? And as soon as we get below this change in the state, I enter short off the close, and I have, let me get rid of this, and I have my break even at this low, at the 1 minute fair value gap, right? So I'm going break even here, and my target is sell side that we have generated before. Now, keep in mind, if we go to the 5 minutes, so we had this 5 minute bearish change in the state, and we come up right here, and since we have taken sell side, right, this would be the new 5 minute change in the state to go higher. And notice how we fail to displace above this 5 minute change in the state. We come up, wick it, respect constant encroachment of this 5 minute wick, and we have immediate displacement down. So this right here is showing me that most likely we want to go lower, right? So I enter short, we kind of build price action, right? We come up, respect constant encroachment of this 1 minute wick, notice that, come up, and we end up going all the way up to my stop and stopping me out. Like I said, I am very fine with taking this trade. I'm okay with taking this trade. I kind of went into this trade understanding that just because we are fighting the high time frame draw, it is lower probability. However, I am just targeting internal liquidity. So I'm not mad at this trade. And there was no fair value gaps below us that we could have rebalanced to, but we end up pumping back up, and we are so bullish, and we end up going to take data highs. So again, this is a trade that I am fine with losing. I'm down around $700 on the day. Completely fine with taking this. Had conviction and confidence in taking this. However, price just didn't want to go my direction, and I am completely fine with that. I'm going into tomorrow with the same mindset, being patient and disciplined. Again, like I said, we do have FOMC next week, so we could just be the rest of this week and the beginning of next week, we could just be generating liquidity, right? We could just have this type of price action, not the most efficient, right? And just continue to generate liquidity for the FOMC move. So going into tomorrow, going to be extremely patient. Most likely will not take a trade because the price action this week has just been not great and really not efficient. So I want to be extremely patient. Unless something is screaming at me, I probably won't take it. But once again, fine with this trade. Down around $700 on the day. Down pretty good on the week, but again, that's trading. You know what I mean? You can't let these kind of semi-losing streaks phase you. And you just have to trust in your model and build confidence in your model, right? And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this trade recap. I hope you guys learned something. And I will catch you guys in the next one.